Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now, under a month until Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev, and Eddie Hearn has explained that Anthony Joshua is looking to dissect, take apart and knock out Kubrat Pulev. It will be clinical and maybe it won't last long in there with Pulev. Now, obviously this fight is being built at the moment and it will be $24.95. That is the pay-per-view price, so they are hoping it's going to be an entertaining one, and I believe it will. I think that we can expect fireworks. Now, what can we expect from Kubrat Pulev? Can we expect much back from him? Well, yes, he is a quality operator, but he's not an elite level operator. That is the difference between him and Anthony Joshua, and I think that will show on a fight night. That will be the difference between these two fighters. Anthony Joshua can go to a level where perhaps Kubrat Pulev cannot follow, and I think that will show. So maybe early on it will be a bit cagey. Obviously Anthony Joshua is going to want to find his distance, find his range and all of that, judge Kubrat Pulev to see what he has also. Then I think that maybe he will look to start going through the gears, because I think that the times of Anthony Joshua going guns blazing looking for the knockout, I think that kind of went away, especially when he came to world level. Obviously that wasn't that long ago really, so Anthony Joshua, who we knew from before, has to be a little bit more educated in the current point, because he's at world level. He's in there with world level operators back to back, such as Povetkin, Ruiz, now Pulev. I know Pulev maybe isn't as good as someone like Povetkin, but it's a different style and therefore can represent tougher challenges for Anthony Joshua in the different aspects. Not necessarily a better fighter than Povetkin all around, but certain things might cause Anthony Joshua some difficulty in the early rounds. So that is what Anthony Joshua must navigate early in this fight to make sure that he is able to get the knockout over Kubrat Pulev, because let's be real, that is what Anthony Joshua is going for in this fight. He's not going in there for a 12-round decision victory over someone like Kubrat Pulev. He's going in there for a knockout victory. So that is where the breaking down will come in. Obviously he will look to establish certain fundamentals and grab a foothold in the fight and make sure that Kubrat Pulev doesn't get comfortable in there, because that is probably the worst thing that he can allow to happen, because I think that Pulev will be suffering with some nerves. This could potentially be his last world title opportunity, and considering what happened in his last one, he is going to be extremely motivated, but that brings with it a lot of pressure and a lot of nerves as well, which he will try and find a way to calm by sustaining a foothold in the fight, by landing certain punches, by finding success in the early stages to give him encouragement going maybe further into the fight, because he won't want to trade with Anthony Joshua early on. He'll want to try and take it to the mid to late rounds. That is what I believe that Kubrat Pulev's game plan will be, because he has said previously that he's going to try and exploit the weaknesses of Anthony Joshua, and one of those weaknesses he believes is his mental toughness. So taking him into deep waters later on in the fight will probably be what Kubrat Pulev will try to do. So he'll try and survive early on, land punches when he can, but I think that he will look to try and maybe make Anthony Joshua work with him later on. Anthony Joshua won't allow it to go that long, I don't believe, and if it does, I think that still Anthony Joshua has too much for him in the mid to late rounds. He's just more of a rounded fighter, and this kind of stigma about Anthony Joshua's gas tank and the fact that he will gas out going late into fights, he won't do that if he's in control. It's when Anthony Joshua is not in control of the fight, the fundamentals, that is when he burns nervous energy and therefore gets tired. Lactic acid kicks in, and then he needs to wait for his second wind to kick in. But other than that, he doesn't get tired when he's in control, and I don't see Kubrat Pulev being the kind of fighter who can rip away those kind of fundamentals and take away the control of Anthony Joshua and therefore implement his game plan when he wants to. I don't think he's good enough for that, or not necessarily not good enough, but I just think that Anthony Joshua is too good for Kubrat Pulev in those aspects. Now, another question that has been thrown out there for Anthony Joshua is he focusing on Tyson Fury? Is he looking beyond Kubrat Pulev? Well, I don't think so, because I think that he has that fight to motivate him, so I think there's no worry of him overlooking Kubrat Pulev. I don't think, even if that Tyson Fury fight wasn't there to motivate him to get beyond Pulev, I don't think that he's going to do that again, where he underestimates his opponent. He done that a little bit with Andy Ruiz. He will not fall victim to that again. I mean, if it fools you once, then bigger fool the opponent, say Andy Ruiz in that case. If it fools you twice, then bigger fool you. I think that is the case in this situation, and Anthony Joshua will not be burnt twice, I don't believe anyway. And having said that, with regards to all of the claims of Kubrat Pulev and his team saying that Anthony Joshua is mentally weak, he's a bit chinny, and he isn't as good as people make him out to be, and therefore Kubrat Pulev will avoid the strengths of Anthony Joshua and exploit the weaknesses. That is what he said. Now, it takes a certain style to bother someone like Anthony Joshua. Everyone has a style that they struggle with. Anthony Joshua seems to struggle with a fighter such as Andy Ruiz, but he's never shown signs of struggling against someone like Kubrat Pulev. That is the problem for Pulev in this particular fight. What does he have that can cause problems for Anthony Joshua? Because he is pretty basic. Yes, he can be unconventional. He has an amateurish kind of style, bouncy, pawing with the jab, and unpredictable at times. But I just think that when Anthony Joshua finds that rhythm, when he finds the pattern of Kubrat Pulev, he will solve the puzzle quite quickly. And when he is able to land certain punches, I don't think that Kubrat Pulev can stand up to that kind of firepower, because Anthony Joshua has proven that he can make adjustments in fights. He can set something up for round after round, then land it when his opponent least expects it, namely the Alexander Povetkin fight. Povetkin would have been preparing for Anthony Joshua's big right hand, but Joshua threw it sparingly. He wasn't looking for that punch, but when he did, he landed it at the perfect point. When Povetkin was squaring up and coming around to that side of Anthony Joshua, he walked him on to that punch, which was brilliant. So he didn't throw that punch so much in the early rounds to set it up for that particular point, and Alexander Povetkin was not expecting it. It's always the punch that opponents do not see coming that causes the biggest effect. And that is what happened to Alexander Povetkin when he fought Anthony Joshua, because who else has done something like that to Alexander Povetkin and knocked him out in that kind of a fashion? Anthony Joshua set it up. It wasn't just about the power punching, it was about how he landed it. And AJ knew how to do that in that fight at world level. So I think that something similar will ensue against Kubrat Pulev. I think that Kubrat Pulev, though, doesn't have the same kind of resolve as Alexander Povetkin, and therefore I think a similar thing will ensue. The only thing is, I don't think that Kubrat Pulev has the same kind of resolve and mental toughness of someone like Alexander Povetkin to stay in there as long as he did. So I think it will be earlier, rounds 4 to 7. I think that is when Anthony Joshua will get the job done. So guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Anthony Joshua looking to dissect and break down Kubrat Pulev bit by bit, then get the knockout. And do you believe that Kubrat Pulev possesses any tools to cause Anthony Joshua any problems? Guys, drop your thoughts on this in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.